capability to discharge the responsibility as Allah would have the responsibilities discharged towards the responsibility of the kingdom. So he prayed to God. He was not selfish. Had he been selfish, he should have prayed that, "Oh Allah, let my kingdom continue in my progeny and grow in size further." He said, "I would rather have a smaller, diminished or a broken up kingdom than my kingdom in the hands of such people who are not just, who are not honest, who are not righteous enough to discharge the responsibilities of this great kingdom which has been bestowed upon me by Allah." So in my opinion, that is what he is expressing. But most of the Muslim scholars, though I agree with them that he referred to this kingdom, do not explain this part. They are left wondering why he did that, and what the message they receive is simply this, that he loved grandeur so much, which is wrong. I don't believe that a prophet can be referred to in the Holy Quran as a self-aggrandizing prophet who loved grandeur so much that he says that even deprive my own progeny of that grandeur. That would reduce the image of Hazrat Solomon to less than an ordinary man. So I reject that meaning. I only agree with the first part, that what he referred to was the ordinary worldly kingdom. La yanbaghi li ahadin has got the key, which means which is not suitable for others. What he saw was, as Holy Quran further explains in the same surah, that his son was incapable of spiritually discharging responsibilities of that kingdom. He was like a dead body as compared to that spiritually alive body of Solomon. So he prayed against his own son, because he did not want his people, the people of his kingdom, to be treated unjustly by a man of his son's quality. So he said, "All right, if that is to be so, then take away the grandeur of this wisdom, this kingdom, and break it away, and whatever may happen to it. Don't hand it over to incapable hands." That is the meaning of this prayer.